Hey everybody, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's theclinicaltrialsguru.com. If you're new here, this is how it works, alright? You send me a question. I'll keep you anonymous unless you want me to mention your name. Email works, Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com, but also social networks work. Just go to any social network that is popular, type in my name, add me, like me, friend me, whatever it's called. Ask me questions that way. I'll keep you anonymous. If they're good, if your question's good, I'll do a video for you. And again, keep you anonymous. So I'll give you a video answer. In addition to that, I'll also just answer you there. Like if you send me an email, I'll reply too. But I'll do a video if I think it's a good question and I think other viewers can benefit from it. So today's question comes from someone who added me on Cyberdust, which is a cool app I like. It's like text messaging that disappears. The messages self-destruct. So this person's at a crossroads, okay? He's like in his mid-20s or early 20s. We've interacted a bunch of times. I'll keep him anonymous though. He's at a crossroads. He wants to know whether he should go to med school or he should start a research company, meaning a research clinic, CRO, SMO. He currently works in the industry at the moment, so he has experience, he has knowledge, he knows what research is all about. But he has the opportunity to go to med school, or he could start his research clinic company now. He's asking me for my opinion. Again, my opinion is just my opinion, and it's what works for me. It may not work for you. What you really need to analyze is what you're passionate about. And don't give me the answer, I'm passionate about both medicine and running a business. That might be true, but the needle is going to move to one or the other. It's not going to be equal, 50-50. I guarantee you that. And if you have to do a little introspection and a little soul searching to find out where your needle, where your compass is pointing, is it more towards medicine? Is it more towards business? I would go with that first. For me, I was actually in a similar situation. Okay, I was pre-med during college at the University of Arizona. I majored in molecular and cellular bio, which is like the major everyone did who was going on to med school. In fact, probably like half of my classmates went on to med school. So that was the course I was on. But I was never passionate about science. I was never passionate about medicine. And deep down inside, that felt wrong. Like it didn't feel like that's what I was supposed to be doing. But I wanted to graduate so I can have my degree at least. Okay. But it still didn't feel right. So when I graduated, I was like 23, 24, probably the same age you are, right around the same age. I stepped into a situation where I became a coordinator at a research clinic, and then months later, literally months later, as I was learning the ins and outs of being a coordinator, I had the opportunity to actually take over the company because it was struggling, the owners were bailing, and it was basically up to me whether I wanted to go find myself another job or take over and take the $10,000 I had in savings, put it all into the company and just roll with it. And that's what I decided to do. I could have gone to med school. I could have gone to med school at this point too. But my compass, that's right around the time I started to discover the fact that I like business, I like entrepreneurship. I was always good at sales, I was always good at marketing. I had a natural inclination to do that. In fact, prior to considering pre-med, I was pre-pharmacy, and my classmates would ask me, well, why do you want to be a pharmacist? And my answer was to own my own pharmacy. So I always had that in my DNA, and it just never felt right that I was not all in on the science end of it. Like, I mean, that was my major, but I didn't really care too much about that. It's not what got me passionate. So business got me passionate. I got my MBA, which in hindsight, I don't think I would have done, because I think the best way you could learn how to run a business, any business, is to actually get your hands dirty and do it. But I didn't have that much confidence because my major in college was science and not business, and I had a few employees under my belt that I had to take care of and make sure that they were getting payroll. So I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was doing, so I got my MBA. In hindsight, probably I should have saved the money. It was like, I don't know, a lot of money. I'm still paying off the student loans. So that's another aspect we didn't even cover as far as your med school. But I was passionate about business and I knew it. It just felt right. It felt really different than when I was applying to med school or when I was applying to pharmacy school. This felt right, so I did it. I'm probably doing comparable salaries to a lot of doctors. That's not to brag, that's just saying that you can actually make a lot of money in this industry, in clinical research. Um, you don't have to go to med school. Now, if you're passionate about science and medicine and helping people, you need to go to med school. And I know what I said earlier about, you shouldn't give me the answer of you like both medicine and business, because your heart is going to lead in one direction more than the other. It's not going to be 50-50 on this, alright? I'm telling you, I just have that feeling. So if you're leaning more towards medicine, there's nothing wrong with going to med school. You're going to incur a lot of debt, but it's alright because you're going to be able to pay it off when you're a doctor. And do you know how many successful doctors there are that own their own research companies or went on to start biotech companies or become early stage founders in biotech companies or CROs? You don't even have to start a biotech. A CRO, an SMO, a research clinic, you can make a lot more money doing that than most doctors are doing in their private practice. And if you become an MD, you can do both. So you'll definitely be making a good amount of money. You'll be solving one of the biggest problems that most young research clinics have, is the fact that they have trouble finding good doctors, because you're going to be the good doctor and it's going to be your business. And now it's going to be that much easier for you to bring in other doctors, because you're now bringing in other colleagues. You're not bringing in people. They won't perceive you as being the business person trying to lure me in here. They're going to perceive you as one of their colleagues. It's going to be a lot easier to get doctors in your company. So really, my answer is long, but it's pretty simple, okay? You're passionate about either medicine or business. You could be passionate about both, but I would not go to med school unless I was completely passionate about becoming a doctor and helping people and the science behind it. Med school is a grueling experience, right? So this is a post edit. It's student Dr. Diva, okay? That's her Twitter. She'll tell you how grueling med school can be, but she's going through it because she's passionate about it. That's what she wants to do. It has to feel right for you, okay? Because it's gonna get hard, it's gonna get tough, and when the going gets tough, your passion is what's gonna get you through. Not the fact that you're gonna be making all this money when you graduate, because you can do that now if you start a research clinic, if you do it the right way. So hopefully this helps. Follow your heart, do some soul searching if you need to, but I guarantee you, your compass, the needle, is either pointing more towards medicine or more towards business. We all have different natural inclinations. Mine was business, like all the way. Yours could be medicine, but just a little bit of the way, right? But that's still enough to tilt the decision in favor of going to med school versus going to business. So that's my answer for you. You can be successful doing both. There's pros and cons to both. Obviously, if you start the clinic now, instead of going to med school, you won't have the student loans, and you won't have all that time that you wasted doing med school, because I don't think you can actually run a company while you're in med school. I think that is insane. So hopefully this question helps answer, or this video helps answer your question, and thanks for watching. Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Take care.